What's up, guys? Wesley, Mike, Wizard of Oz, what's up, man? Jay, Joe, Tickles, Jay, Liana. How's it going, guys? Bear trap. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards a bear trap. Definitely leaning towards a bear trap in the overall markets with AMC, along with these other smaller cap stocks. There's a lot of them right now. Yes, I believe they're in a bear trap. But yeah, I want to go over that, man. Market updates. We'll do AMC, SPY, other cryptocurrencies. We'll kind of do the whole thing. Get to it, man, for sure. And I'm gonna share a trade, not financial advice. As always, guys, these are just my perspectives in the market, ideas, but it's never meant to be financial advice. So take it as you will. I will talk about a trade that I've been looking at for quite some time now, and it's getting ready to develop here into and potentially play out according to what we've been tracking. But first, we're going to be covering AMC. We'll start off with AMC here. We're on the 30-minute chart, and right now we're getting very close to a pink curve. Going to get ourselves a nice little blue spot, and I'm going to talk about where we are in the fractal pattern sequence, because it is a fractal. We did stretch it out a little bit, considering that we are in a larger cycle, but that is normal with these types of patterns, these types of things. So where are we in this sequence here, right? So we have the pump, we have the dump, and then right here, this mid phase is what I call it, is the same thing as this little run-up guy right here, except so AMC is respecting support and it's bouncing quickly. We have earnings coming up, along with a lot of other stocks right now, small cap, mid cap stocks. We're respecting support trend line, and we're getting ready to bounce here. So it's very important that we start to head back up. I'll pull up my short-term projection here. You can see it's off right now, and it needs some updates, right? So because we have things are slightly shifted to the right. We have a couple of days here where things are and have been shifted. So this is a thing. I still see things coming up and creating this like cup setup, but I see that happening in the next few days. Like it's so initially the fractal and the patterns were telling us that it was going to happen at the beginning of the week, and I had I talked about why that was the case, why I thought that was going to be the case on the video where it's a weekly forecast. But now that we are starting to see things picking back up, I think we will get that happening either today or tomorrow. And the projection here, well, let's go ahead and fix it a little bit because, well, based on the pattern now, and I'm starting to see it develop into something else, but we have already crossed just very basic level of resistance right here. Okay. And draw that because it is curved. I mean, all these levels of resistance that we're tracking, man, they're just so steep, and maybe it's not the best way to see AMC right now. We do have a kind of a wedge formation as well, and the spots indicator is showing us that we're just riding right here. So this little wedge setup right here, about to break that, hopefully to the upside, to have a continuation. Let's see. Yeah, I pulled up GameStop here. Yeah, yes, 2 days ago. Pulled up GameStop, talked about the levels we were tracking. This was a good way to put it. Man, I have some crazy stuff that I'm going to share with you guys on this video that is just crazy, bro. I don't even know if I should talk about it on this video because I feel like I should make a video about it. But I was doing some digging yesterday and I found what could be a life-changing, I feel like, opportunity. And I say that like I'm saying that lightly in that because everything that you do in the market, guys, is speculation, but there is a lot of correlation between what I found yesterday, and this has to do with the overall markets, which has to do with AMC in the end. This is going to be, I'll talk about this later in the video, it's about crypto, and it's about just the macro picture of crypto and what it's going to be doing in the next couple of years. But again, that has to do with the markets, it has to do with AMC, it has to do with everything. So I'll go over that, and we'll possibly make a shorter video on that as well. Okay, so let's take a look at SPY. See what we got going on with SPY, because it is dumping right now. But yes, it's very likely that this is a short-term correction. If anything, like the worst that I see happening with SPY right now is that it comes to 440. I talked about this already before, is if this is the start of a short-term trend, it'll be a fake out. Why? Because we're already so close to resistance. Remember we talked about the 467 level? It's just too close to resistance. You have loads of stop losses way up here at these levels. And we saw these blue chip stocks already cross their levels of resistance on the yearly chart. So I think SPY is headed to do the same thing, but with everything, you got to stair your way up. It can't just keep going up forever. So you do have to stair your way up, but eventually I think we're going to cross that probably this year. So micro chart. Okay, we have right there a little parallel channel in the making. A little bit better. A little parallel channel in the making, could have a potential bounce today. And then what could happen here is, because we're developing this, call it like an inverse cup arc setup. What that means is that on the way down, these like flushes sometimes get corrected very quickly, and you have yourself a volatility and theta crush. So it's just like, boom, volatility, crush, comes back up. And there's your second retest at support on the way down. And now it just looks a little bit better. It looks prettier. It's not so rapid. It's not so quick, even though it can happen that way. I think that would be ideal. We're starting to see a nice little bounce here as well. Okay, watch this. ROC indicator, guys. One of the things I pulled up on the Discord is this level right here. And look at how perfect it got rejected off of this range, right? What happened back in August 2022? Right here. Major dump in the markets. So flush, it took a couple of weeks. Right? Almost a month. Actually, it took a month for it to just keep dumping. What happened again in December 2022? Right here. Look at how big these candles are, guys. On this level, it's the 12% level on the ROC indicator. It rides down. This is your triple top. And then now we're getting rejected again on that hit. Look at the size of this candle. All right, massive candle, and then basically followed by another retest. It comes back up, and then it starts dumping again. So right now, we're just riding support. You can see we're getting very close to that support level. So for me, just looking at this indicator, it seems likely we're going to come all the way down to that 6 range before we bounce back up. So if it does it today, if there's a fake out today, we'll see it very quickly. Otherwise, this is going to go down to that 440 range level. We do have a gap there as well. So it really depends on what SPY ends up doing today. But if it fakes out, comes down to create this inverse cup arc setup right down here, it'll eventually get down to that 6%, and then we'll start coming back up. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little teaser of this little finding I had, which is freaking crazy. All right, get ready for this because it's going to get interesting, man. All right, so this is what happened, dude. This is what happened, all right? I was looking at Bitcoin, and I was thinking to myself, why are these banks... Why is it like, why are we in that like a revolutionary period in the markets? Like, why is Bitcoin creating this sort of like what people would call a dead cat setup, right? But it doesn't quite seem that way anymore because of what I'm about to show you. And I did my research, man. This is gonna blow your mind. All right, and again, speculation, guys. I'm on the weekly chart. And I want to show you guys something. So first, market cap is key, all right? Market cap is important to track here. That is why this makes sense. It'll make a little bit of sense, but we're going to take a look at some of these numbers here. So in 2021, we had a market cap of, I think it was 1.2 trillion. Right up here, okay, 1.2 trillion market cap. Make that green. You're gonna have to bear with me here. Now we're sitting at about a $500 market cap, billion, and down here at the bottom, we were at about a $3 million. Or 300 million, what am I doing? $300 million market cap. Okay, so this is going to make sense here in a little bit. So a lot of people think and thought that we might be having some kind of like major crash and, you know, the markets were going to dump quickly and stuff, but this was simply a rinse stage in the markets. So you got to think two things, right? Bitcoin is and it's not fully accepted yet in the entire world as a commodity, but it's close. Because now, you know, these big banks are trying to get you out. Commodity. What else is a commodity, guys? Gold. So I've talked about the correlation already with gold, but hear me out, man. This is going to be crazy. Initially, I thought Bitcoin was right here at the top in 1980, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think Bitcoin is down here. Here. Why? If you do inflation, and this is just correlation stuff, guys. This is just correlation stuff here with numbers. But if you do the math and you go back to figure out the gold market cap, like with calculating inflation and everything over the years, how much it's worth now, these numbers are like the same. Like the gold market cap in 1974 was 1.2 trillion at the peak. And down here, it was at 700 million. Again, compared to market to the same, taking into inflation into 700 million down here. And just look at the chart for a second, okay? These two look very similar, and then look at how it's riding on the way up. Like, it looks kind of weird. Like, this pattern here doesn't look so appealing. Like, you really can't tell if it's going to come down or if it's going to keep climbing up. But now with the narrative coming out that these big banks want to, you know, make an ETF, come back in on it. I mean, look at how quickly it just spirals up in the following years, 1976 to 1980. Now, I don't think it's going to take 4 years. I think because of, like, you know, technological advancement, everything is happening so much faster. I think this could potentially be cut in half and play out in 2 years instead. This is just it's just fascinating to me, man. The correlation between the two. You got to remember this, guys. Commodity back here. Okay, gold started trading in the U.S. markets in 1974, and then from there it just skyrocketed. I mean, like, it fell down for a few years, and then it skyrocketed. Very similar to Bitcoin. It wasn't accessible to the to a lot of markets until recently. So, I mean, yeah, you got to think about this, man. Gold is probably going to be replaced by crypto, by Bitcoin specifically. When you look at market cap is very important. The fact that these two are the same, literally the same, man, 1974 to 1976 is, and dude, like, this was the tech revolution here. Guys, you got to think about that too. Microsoft, Apple, these guys didn't come in till the late 70s, early 80s. And there's a lot of stocks right now that are just squeezing. Like, and we're talking big, you know, blue chip stocks, Nvidia and everything, right? These guys are squeezing. And essentially these are going to be the next big tech companies. And, you know, these smaller tech companies are doing the same thing. So you got to be looking at that too, man. The correlation not only between Bitcoin and gold here, but comparing other tech stocks back then. IBM was like the big IBM, I think, was like the biggest tech company back in the 70s because there really wasn't that much tech going on. Like, again, revolutionary time here in the 80s for the tech industry. So same thing here, guys. We just have a different times, you know, different things going on. But looking at these two, this looks very promising to me. And if this holds and starts riding up, it's in a parabolic arc. Otherwise, I could see things coming down. But we'll see very soon, man. It's just so weird to me that the market cap is the same in terms of inflation. That is just, it's crazy. And the way the events line up here is just even crazier, man. Like, the structure of the freaking pattern, I don't know, man. Like, making a video on this for sure. Just wanted to, you know, talk about it here. Missed the 80s, right? Man, if I had to go back in time to live in a era, I would probably pick the 80s, either the 70s or 80s for sure. But that time was, just seems, I don't know, it seems peaceful and nice. All right, so hope you guys like that little analysis before we get to trading. And let's look at all-in-one. This guy is out already, guys. If you want to check out the website, you can get this too. I have a package. All right, if you guys want to access just the indicators, I have a package you can get if you would like. It has 4. It has CopyPat, has all-in-one, has spots, and then it has Volt. All right, so all those guys This is what I use to trade. I don't really use anything else. I don't think that you need all these indicators in the markets. These have shown to work for me, and I can go over each one here. I'll show you guys as we look at the charts and talk about each one. But you can head on to the website, click on the indicators, and it'll take you straight there. All right. Jamie's coming down a little bit, coming down a little bit. Oh, I was going to talk about that pattern, man. Here. This is for you guys. I've been tracking this pattern here for over 8 months now, guys. And guess what? This is crazy, bro. Look. I just posted this recently, too. I didn't want to... where is it? Right here. I just posted this about a month ago. This pattern right here is a macro pattern on Moderna that we found with the pattern scanner. So again, this was posted about a month ago. You can see it's currently following through. We're in that spring formation here. This is a massive broadening wedge on Moderna. Okay, this typically trades inverse to SPY. If you go back to the videos when we initially first talked about this, we were back here in January. So this pattern followed through for a whole 8 months using the pattern scanner that we have that should be coming out sometime this summer. And dude, I'm telling you guys, if you look at different markets in the past, you're going to have all these stocks that these institutions bring back in and basically repeat the same algorithm, okay? With, catalysts lined up, ready to go, ready to pop in your face. That's how they do it, because this is just insane. Like, we're about to get a spring here, potentially having Moderna go into that $90 level, possibly even lower. And the potential that after earnings, it just freaking bounces back and then goes to like 250. So this is crazy, man. I love this pattern. It has earnings tomorrow in the morning. So to me, I feel like it's going to spring. I feel like it's going to come down here, trade sideways for about a week or two, and then start climbing back up. So I'm excited about this play, guys. Here it is again. Lined up. Look at this. Look at this freaking pattern, bro. Right here, guys. Play of the year. That's what I call it, man. I've been waiting for this one for a while. So if you're here watching it, take it as you will. Again, speculation. Do your own due diligence. Anything could happen here. This thing could freaking stop tracking and just fire up, right? But I like the odds. I like the setup. I think it's in a broadening wedge. I think that's pretty hidden too. If you really kind of have to look at the chart here for it. But essentially, you can also treat it as another retest here, and then a fake out, right? But no, it definitely looks more like a broadening wedge, actually. Yeah, it definitely looks more like a broadening wedge. Here we go. Look at that beautiful chart right there, man. Fake out. Spots indicator. Boom, boom. See how SPY's doing. Whoop. SPY. Yeah, it looks like SPY is wanting to break back down following this negative 1.3% day. It's coming very close to support again. So it's going to be let's take a look at this pattern here. Okay, so it's pretty clear that it's a failed M shape. We got a little M shape pattern here formation with a fake out, and it starts climbing down. And this. I'll pull up Gala. Here we go. Fake out right there. Okay, look at all this downside following that fake out. So we have, it looks to be an inverse point of interest right here, as the chart is basically flipped up to this point, which is right here. You guys can see that. This is what I'm looking at right here. And you can, guys, the thing is the spots indicator also showing us similarities, but up to this point here, the chart would be inverse. So you can see this comes up, comes down. We get to this point right around that 8 o'clock time here in the cycle, and these two start tracking together. Call me crazy all you want, man. But this is how it's done. This is how we do it, bro. And this would probably play out a little bit quicker too. But I do like it. So maybe right around this point, we would start to see it actually flush through a lot quicker. And it looks like, it looks like this is going to be. That makes sense. That makes sense. We got a little theta crush going on here. Comes back down to 450 and then essentially closes around that 451 range, faking out. I like this. And then up to that point, we might get either a continuation into the after-hour session where it tracks, similar to it. But most of the time in the after-hour session, these charts don't tend to track one-to-one. You got to consider the crypto markets do have more data points because they trade 24/7. Now, maybe with the futures chart, it might look a little different. Here's the fake out. M fake out. It's 4. 1, 2, 4. Fake out. Down. It's back up. We got a massive green candle coming through. Those are typically kind of scammy in a way. These green volume candles. Not all the time, but I don't know. Something about these, man. It's like green, right? It goes green for like 2 seconds and then it dumps again. All right, let's see what's pumping in the markets, guys. We have 16 BBIG. Is BBIG pumping? No, BBIG just has that barcoding thing going on. That's why it looks like this. I know AAOI is pumping for sure. We got a nice little pump happening here. You can already tell this is going to come down, or at least trade sideways along this range here, and then yeah. See what else is getting ready to break out. We have BGFV. Is that gaming, right? GFV. Big Five Sporting Goods. Oh, okay. Massive dump here. D-Walk. Pumping again. This stock is highly diluted, man. It's highly diluted, but that doesn't mean it can't rally. But this was one of the, like, it was in the little meme back here, 2021. It goes from 30 cents to $3, so 10x. Not bad. I don't know why it kind of looks like Mara to me a little bit. Maybe it's missing some things, but well, they look pretty similar. Maybe up to this point, I guess. But wish, 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 wish. Oh, sorry guys if I'm all over the place. I love to just man, I love patterns, bro. It's my thing. Patterns are my thing, man. So you guys can see the similarities here between the two. Initially, I was tracking the Bed Bath and Beyond pattern here, but now there's a lot more correlation with this one too. DYDX is a decentralized crypto exchange, which I'm bullish for if the big banks decide to take over the crypto world. Look at how awesome that looks, man. Like a little puzzle. Carvana making its way back up. Upstart making its way back up. And what's this right here? Clover. Yeah. Hey, I have that one on watch, man, for the week. Look at that. You got Clover coming back up. For those that don't remember, or that remember, CLOV, this guy was like a major distraction. I remember when AMC was pumping, and then they just like a few days later they started pumping Clove. Jeez. So this guy's wanting to go here next. Let's see what kind of setup we're dealing with, because I do have this one on watch for potential volatility. So we have a lot of resistance right here, meaning that just a quick cross here would send it through above these levels. We saw this happen with SDC. We're seeing it happen right now with Nikola. I mean, it's only a matter of time, I think. This is trading at $1.25 from 71 cents. So very similar to Nikola in that it's been below that dollar range, but they couldn't quite get it below that. 70 is good, all right? 70, you come back into the dollar range, and you're still, you're still in that, I guess you'd call it the way they manipulate stocks, remember, is using the option chain. And if you're above that 50 cent to $1 range, you're still having to deal with derivatives. So sometimes they remove them whenever you get very close to that 10-cent range. Options will be removed. So then it just becomes really hard for the stock to bounce back from there. Coming back, I don't know. It's just, man, you got to look at those things. But here we are, we're pretty good. We're pretty good where it's currently at, I think. Clover. NVax making a comeback too. Clove NVax. Bit of a comeback. does this trade come, bro? What? I have a feeling, man, this one is just gonna freaking blow up. Just because it has a pretty good track record of just pumping and dumping and then pumping and dumping. So look at the weekly chart on this one, guys. Spots indicator. Oh my god. Did we cross already? Oh my god, we crossed. There's a blue spot right here on NVax on the weekly. Have not had one of those since December 2019. I mean, just look at how well it respects these spots. Cross, dump, pump. We got a bit of a fake out here. Just a very, very quick fake out. But on that next pink spot, this thing absolutely gets destroyed. And then now we have a blue spot again. NVax. I like this one, man. I like this one. So that's it, guys. I just gave you like 4 different stocks that have and crypto that have potential here to just completely obliterate the markets right now. We've been following through SDC, Upstart, AI, all these other stocks that were in that $3 range. They've been on watch for a really long time, and those guys already went. So there is the next cycle wave is going to be different stocks. It's not going to be the same ones. So that's exactly how I'm treating this. And yes, with Clover being in that bulk, it is in a very similar place with AMC as well. Remember, they went up almost at the same time. So in this next wave of runners, if the markets are getting ready to breathe and come down, once they bounce back off of that first step, that means this next wave of cycle stocks in a little bulk are going to go next, in my opinion. I mean, dude, this is a pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. What's going to happen next? I mean, it can't just keep dumping. I don't think so. I think we're going to get a pump, dude. Let's see. $6. Watch this, dude. We have this. It goes from 300 to about $5. It's 98%. All right, we can say the same thing about Roku. It's my little projection here, playing out a little bit early, but Roku does the same thing, about 91%. It starts bouncing back. All right, Carvana. Look at freaking, man, Carvana with this. That would be insane if it actually did this. But, okay, Carvana, 300 to about $3, 98%, starts bouncing back, currently trading at $60. AI, another one, 185 to $10, starts bouncing up. Upstart, potentially going to start coming down soon based on this little fractal. Same thing, 400 to about $10, starts bouncing up. So NVax, another one. On the list, we have Peloton. This is actually Clover right here that I was tracking here, but you can still see a continuation here on that second wave, which I like. Regardless of what's showing right back down here, it could do this, but in the short term, it's calling for upside. See about a 70% run here, getting very close to that pink curve. So pink spot or blue spot curve, maybe fake out, still 70% at the table. and then AMC, lovely AMC, riding that pink curve. Got rejected the first time, but I think on that second run here, it should do it. Let's see, we have the fake out that happened back here. So that's the fake out. Fake out, and then the run going into October. A little bit steep here, but same correlation, guys. This hasn't changed. It's the same thing. These are all the fractals I'm tracking on Amy right now. All the fractals that I'm tracking. Most of these are calling for upside in October. Quad witching curve. I love the quad witching curve. Next quad witching date we have is September. Okay, and then because the previous quad witching date, we did close right above it. We do have a fake out initially right after that, but then it starts curling back up. So I would love to see it close around that $9 range. Based on the projection we have, it does do that. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this projection here. Let's pull up here's the projection. You can see it comes all the way up here. Now anything could happen at this point. Okay, it doesn't have to come up there. Even if it comes down to that $7 range, it still hits the $9 range beforehand, and then it comes down. So the way the events play out here don't have to be one-to-one, guys. Remember, this is just a projection based on the algorithm pattern right now that is tracking in most markets, which looks like this. It's this right here, man. This pattern is... I consistently see it. Should make like a little... It basically looks like that. I mean, and then we translate it to what is the M shape pattern followed by a POI. That's basically what it translates to. It's just, these all have their own version of it. I can pull this pattern up multiple times. Just kind of expose the algorithm here a little bit. Expose the algorithm. Brian, you're a funny man. If you think that that I'm gonna look up iCup, you're a funny man. Charge point? What are you doing, charge point? Maybe that's why we saw GSAT going up. But why is charge point? We're like, what's charge point doing? Oh, well, followed by this dump here again. Flip the chart a little bit. See that no. Blue Apron's going up too. Oh, very little volume. Well, here we got ChargePoint and Plug, both of them. And we got Uber up as well. Uber coming back, making a comeback here. Yeah, GSAT, Plug, and ChargePoint are all leading right now in the markets. We can clearly see that because they're all above the average. The average right now is at 1.5, between 1.5 and negative 1%. That's roughly the average, so maybe about a 35%. So these guys are leading because they're above that range. So the energy sector is kind of booming right now today. And then we got Uber up there. Uber is just like, let me join you guys. Blue Apron, very little volume, so I'm not going to use that for it. Clover and a few others. Workhorse even, well, no, that's not Workhorse. What's this one? Interesting. Pinterest. Ooh, Pinterest. What do you do? Does Pinterest have earnings? Oh, it had earnings. No wonder. Bro, Snapchat's chart is like constantly just floating. It never connects itself. It's like on earnings, it's like you can expect volatility because all of these just have massive gaps. It almost looks like inverse to this. And I'm sure there was like, look how many gaps there are here. Gap right there, gap right there, gap. Bro, what the heck? Gap? How many gaps do we have on Snapchat? This chart is literally floating. AI making a comeback as well. Fucking AI. AI. No, AI is not making a comeback. It's getting ready to break down. This is the one that I am waiting for, patiently waiting for, to break down to the $30 range. Following this arc formation that looks like AMC in 2021. There it is. You can see the levels all hit the same. Okay, we got peak here. It's like this part of the cycle, 1-to-1. Then up to this point, you get one more volatility zone, which is fair to say that as long as this to me looks like an algorithm coming back into the cycle because there's a lot of correlation right here with the fractal. So there's just a lot of volatility right now, I think, on this, but it has already shown us that, well, for one, it broke resistance, which is the same thing that AMC did back in 2020. If I pull this back up here, we draw our little resistance trend line right here. It broke it right around this point, which would be sometime in July, and then it starts coming down. Wait. Bro, AI freaking pumped the same time in 2023. Look. June 1st. I did not even know, like I didn't even realize that just till now, dude. June 1st it pumps. AMC pumped June, like it went down on June 2nd. So dude, what the frick, man? Okay, well this definitely supports my my short thesis on AI. At least I think it'll probably start coming down very soon. Want to have this little sequence here play out a little bit quicker. AI, man. We'll say, man, with AI too. Something else I was oh, here's AMC again. For some reason, I don't know why I have that there. This is another one that is pretty awesome, I would say, in the way it's tracking. Now, this one is delayed a little bit in the way it comes down, but I kind of agree with this because CFX right now is I would say it's the trading pair. Like if you were comparing AMC and Ethereum Classic, I would treat AI and CFX the same way. CFX is an AI cryptocurrency. It's one of the first ones that launched way back in the beginning of the year, and then this thing just like, I mean, it right now it's top percentage-wise. It's rallied the most in the entire crypto market this year. So it is coming down, obviously, but the two have a weird correlation going on. I mean, the levels are the same, just like we tracked with Ethereum Classic and AMC, and so we can already tell CFX made its way back down, which essentially is something we're looking for here for AI. But these guys are they're taking their time, man. They're taking their time. They wanna just rug pull this when it's convenient for them. So I think it'll happen within the next month. I'm currently tracking, for it to start coming down here in the next week or two, but this would be the other pattern suggesting it would come down sometime in September or October. But those are still there, $30, maybe 25, and then ultimately come down to that $20 level. How's AMC plus APE chart looking? Let's take a look at it. AMC plus APE. It's still ascending from. So that's good. We still see nice little ascending chart here. Here's SPY. Let's take a look at the minute chart, see how that pattern is doing. Oh, it's definitely not. Well, SPY is looking a little weird right now. So it looks like it's tracking inverse now. What? What the hell, man? How do things just flip like that? See what I'm talking about, guys? See how things just flip? Like, it just now it just flipped, dude. You clone this guy, bring it back to square one. It's right here, just tracking like a normal dude. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. Give me the inverse, dude. I'm telling you, man, these algorithms, sneaky. The only reason that, like, I would agree with this is because it's been a constant, like, consistent with these options, guys. I'm telling you, they don't care, man. This is it's consistent, like, just fake out after fake out. If this were to play out and it actually starts coming up here, it's gonna go all the way back up to 455, and then there we're gonna retest resistance. So we just made this descending resistance trend line. It just now did that, right? Where else have we seen this happen, guys, before? And I mean, this is not the first time. Where else have we seen it? We saw it right here. Okay. Same thing. Now, I did this in the intraday. So July 7th comes up, comes back down, retests, fakes out, doesn't quite cross support. In this case, we have more of a parallel channel developing, so it might be a different story. But I mean, even with a parallel channel, you're still bouncing off of these walls back and forth. So that's the only thing, man. Yeah, if this is a fake out again, it's gonna come all the way up here to 455. Clear cross there. I mean, and the angles here are pretty similar all the way through. Look at this one though. Right here, it's a bit different. It is just a double bottom. It does cross below it briefly and then springs back up. Right here does it a few times. Honestly, I think this is what would happen, dude. I think this is what would happen. I think this is what I see happening. Yep. And I'll tell you guys why. A few things, guys. If things hold this level and it bounces back to 457, I just don't see it coming down to the 440 range like we talked about. It just goes two ways. It goes two ways here. It bounces back, touches support again, and then rides the wave back up, or it crosses below and it goes to the 440 range, and then we start bouncing up. Either way, it's still a bullish, macro bullish thesis on SPY. I think we're still going to go up, but trying to figure out which is the way it's going to go here in the short term. But this is called, it's what we call the arc up setup. It's more inclined than what we normally see, but it looks like that. It's just an arc pattern. SDC is a prime example of this. It looks like this. Doesn't quite come down to touch resistance or support. In this case, if we wanted to see that happen, it would have to come down to the 440 range and then bounce up. But if we don't see that and this starts bouncing back up here, it's going to look more inclined, like it's just kind of hovering over before it rallies and keeps going up. And would you look at that? Here we go. Here is the one of the patterns I've been tracking. Kind of see the same thing here. Now, it right up to this point, though, it does flip. Bro. Why did it? I mean, even if it flipped here, though, it would still be calling for upside. God. Man, this would be the craziest fake out if it does this. And it would look like this, a mini version of this right here. Bro. Oh, man. SPY, dude. Okay, it's at support right now, too, man. No, something else. It's at support. It's riding support. So what's it going to do? Is it going to break below and go to 440? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is getting ready to bounce. You know why I think this? Because Moderna, which is a pretty big stock, and just along with these other bio and vax stocks in the market, but this trades pretty inverse to the market, okay? And it doesn't, for some time, sure, it did track 1-to-1. We can come back to the beginning of 2022. We saw a lot of correlation there, and then it just said, psych, we're going somewhere else. And then, from there, it's just been on decline. So from the moment the market starts trending up, we have Moderna coming down. So what are we expecting with Moderna today, right? We're expecting a spring, meaning that we're expecting it to come down and then rally back up. That's the spring formation. So if I'm expecting this thing to spring, where else? Look at this. This right here is considered a spring, but if you flip it, it's inverse to the market right here. Inverse. So if I'm expecting a spring, what does that mean? That means this is going to come back up. That means that this is going to come down one last time, which also means that the market could go back up and then come back down as this starts to trend back up. Because they're trading inverse, man. These are trading inverse to each other. It's like the VIX, bro. It's like the VIX. So that's something else. Something else to watch out for here. You gotta look at the correlation between these other stocks, what they have done before, and that's what seems more likely to do something like that, which would be good for a short-term bullish case for SPY. Exciting stuff. I think exciting stuff coming up here. Market. All right, let's come back and track that pattern again. Let's update it. We had the inverse one. Well, let's see if that is a thing anymore. Looks like it still is. Potentially. That's the inverse right here. It would call for upside and then downside again. And then right around that. Yeah, no, I mean, this is like essentially going to double bottom. If anything, it would double bottom at 450 and just stay there. So not much going on after this dump. Okay. Well, I'm going to pull up one more pattern here to compare SPY to, because this did happen with AMC recently after it dumped. Right here, or right here, where was it? This is coming way down though. Oof. Oh. Wait, what? Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So All right, guys. So this is the deal. We'll see if you guys want a little bit of the analysis. I talked about SPY and what I thought was going to happen. Just rewind the video for 10 minutes. It'll go over that there. But okay. So these indicators as well, guys. Spots, volt, all in one, and then you also get copy pat. If you guys want those, I'll pull up here the website real quick for you guys to see. Oh, it's not the website. Here's the website. So you go on twecharts.com. You go here, you got a little trading performance, Discord, and the trading view indicators. These guys right here, if you want access to those, you click the indicator tab, and it'll give you a nice little, a little summary on what they do. So we have the all-in-one indicator. So just real quick, that does compare the percentage change of symbols in the market, so whether it's stocks, crypto, and like we saw back here today, it just compares the entire list, so you can tell which ones are about to break out instead of having to look at, I love to look at charts, at line charts. So this is a really good way to just spot breakouts before they fully take off. Spots, you do have a EMA crossing the smoother filter, and then it does have cycle parameters on that. So we have back tested this, and the parameters we use are very accurate. So this is basically how it works. And then volt is one of my favorite. This one I use for volatility. So every time it crosses this, typically that's an indication that the crypto market, so I use this for crypto, it indicates a pullback, and it's very, very accurate. I think this is one of my favorite to use, because once it triggers that tells me either to open a long or short position. But, as always, it's a potential reversal, right? And I've already studied and back tested this one specifically. When you get alerts back to back on this indicator, it's one of those things that, if it keeps going up and it does not stop, that's also an indication that it's going to continue that trend and keep going. So it's another way to spot major breakouts. And then copy pat is the one that displays the patterns, right? So we use the fast Fourier transform, and then it gives you that forecast based on that. So if you guys want access to that, click the link below, and it'll give you all that good stuff. Alrighty, guys, that is it for me today. Just wanted to go over that, and I will stream sometime this week. So we're for Amy here, posting a video later for you guys to see. Alrighty.